On July 28, 1798, Maximilien Robespierre was executed at the guillotine. The man known as the Incorruptible would initiate the terror over France, which would ironically consume its own creator. Here in this video, I'll do my best to narrate Maximilien Robespierre's last speech that he made 2 days before losing his head. The enemies of the Republic call me tyrant. Were I such, they would grovel at my feet. I should gorge them with gold, I should grant them impunity for their crimes, and they would be grateful. Were I such, the kings who we have vanquished far from the denouncing Robespierre will lend me their guilty support. There will be a covenant between them and me. Tyranny must have tools, but the enemies of tyranny, whither does their path tend? To the tomb and to immortality. But tyrant is my protector. To what faction do I belong? Yourselves. What faction since the beginning of the revolution has crushed and annihilated so many detected traitors? You, the people, our principles, are that faction. A faction to which I am devoted and against which all the scoundrelism of the day is banded. The confirmation of the Republic has been my object, and I know that the Republic can be established only on the eternal basis of morality. Against me, and against those who hold kindred principles, the League is formed. My life? Oh, my life I abandon without regret. I have seen the past, and I foresee the future. What friend of his country would wish to survive the moment when he can no longer serve it, when he can no longer defend innocence against oppression? Wherefore should I continue in order of things, where intrigue eternally triumphs over truth, where justice is mocked, where passion is the most object, or fear is the most absurd, override the sacred interests of humanity? And witnessing the multitude of vices which the torrent of revolution has rolled in turbid communion with its civic virtues, I confess, I have sometimes feared that I should be sullied in the eyes of posterity by the impure neighborhood of unprincipled men who had thrust themselves into association with the sincere friends of humanity, and I rejoice that these conspirators against my country have now, by their reckless rage, traced steep the line of demarcation between themselves and all true men. Question history and learn how all the defenders of liberty in all times have been overwhelmed by calumny, but their seducers died also. The good and the bad disappear alike from the earth, but in very different conditions. O Frenchmen, O my countrymen, let not your enemies with their desolating doctrines degrade your souls, and enervate your virtues. No, Chomit, no. Death is not an eternal sleep. Citizens, efface from the tomb that motto, graven by sacrilegious hands, which spreads over all nature a funeral creep, takes from oppressed innocence its support, and affronts the beneficent dispensation of death. Inscribe rather thereon these words: Death is the commencement of immortality. I leave to the oppressors of the people a terrible statement, which I proclaim with the independence befitting one whose career is so nearly ended. It is the awful truth. Thou shalt die. On July 27th, Robespierre and those loyal to him were arrested and taken to prison. He was able to escape with the aid of a jailer and hid in the Hôtel de Ville, also known as the City Hall in Paris. When Robespierre heard that the National Convention had declared him an outlaw, he attempted to take his own life, but only managed to injure his jaw. Shortly after this attempt, troops from the National Convention recaptured Robespierre and his allies. The next day, he and 21 of his followers were devoured by the revolution. That's it for this video. Please check out my Bitch channel or YouTube channel, depending on where you're watching this from. If you have any questions or recommendations for future videos, please feel free to comment below. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the underworld. Bye.